Everybody synchronize.
All right. We are live, everybody. Welcome to Ghost PM. I'm your host, Roger Belt, and my co-host, Mr. John McColgan. Say hello, John.
What's going on, everybody?
We have my partner in crime on the Graveyard Show, Christina Corsetti, with us tonight.
Hello, everybody.
And we're gonna have a good time, so everybody get ready. Yeah, we had to run half hour late because John had some issues he had to take care of or whatever, but that's fine. We're all good.
We're good now. Yep.
We're good. Good.
Yeah, I'm up paused.
Anyway, we're gonna talk about different stuff here. Christina is the lady you want to talk to if you're looking for haunted places in Salem. Trust me. Hit her up on her Facebook page, and she'll let you know where to go. And depending on where you are, she might tell you where to go.
There you go.
But, anyway, now from reading your bio information, and it's kind of sad, but tell us a little bit about yourself. You know, I know you had a rough time growing up. Can you kind of enlighten us a little bit?
Yeah, well, I ended up going to Salem High when I was about 15. Actually, a little earlier than that because I graduated when I was 17. And I graduated out of Salem. And I had a couple experiences in Salem where I was living. But I had my son, who's 14 now. I had him at 23. And he has Asperger's. He has ADHD and bipolar, so bringing him up for the past 14 years has been really rough. About 10 years ago, I decided to start Haunted Salem because I thought it would be a good place for people to learn all about haunted locations and haunted places and teach them about the afterlife and all that. So I started about 10 years ago, and I still have people to this day that still follow me on Haunted Salem.
That's an awesome page too. I gotta say, man, I love a lot of the stuff that's on there. And
Yes, thank you.
spent literally probably an hour or so at a time reading the stories and stuff on there.
It keeps me busy. I mean, I do it around the clock, you know.
I know you're like me. So, but yeah, I mean, there's you know, if you want to read a lot of interesting stuff, and this is true stuff, and yeah, I read a lot of it because I love, especially the old history stuff. You know.
Oh, absolutely.
That dates back.
I try to do a variety of things on there. You know what I mean? Not just paranormal, you know, aliens, even unsolved mysteries and stuff like that. You know, just to give it a kick. And everyone loves my adult humor. Used to get shut down. They used to get shut down all the time.
And the little
they just shut me down for weeks.
That you put in there, I love that.
Yeah, yeah. I have a sense of humor. You got to have a sense of humor.
You got to.
John, you got anything you want to ask?
Well, I was kind of looking over the page and everything else past couple of days, and I was noticing not only do you get into the paranormal, the UFOs, the aliens, and all that other good stuff, but I noticed you get into old historical objects as well. I actually made a comment on one of the posts about, I think it was salt shakers or something like that.
Oh, yes.
So you basically get into just about everything you can get your hands on.
Oh, absolutely. Anything, you know, between videos and, you know, ghost photos, you know, old stuff, like things like they found, you know, that's really old, curses, all that stuff. And I try to also teach the other end about, you know, earthbound spirits and how to cross the spirits over. And like you get both, you know, both sides to it. Right. And I also do a lot of spells. A lot of people look forward to looking for the spells. I follow Wicca. You know, a solitary witch is one that, you know, doesn't really follow a coven or anything like that. You know, So I'm kind of like along those lines where, you know, I do my own thing, and I just do what I do, and I try and teach a lot of that. I also have, on the other end of it, I have 2 paranormal investigation teams that I've had for a long time.
Nice.
Yeah, I have Spot, which we have all the equipment, and we go out, we do residentials, and we go out and we do a lot of Salem and stuff like that. You know, anything we get our hands on. They have the, you know, the basic, you know, the equipment, the thermals, the, you know, the EVPs, the DVRs, the video cameras and stuff like that. But then I also have North Shore Pure Paranormal, where they do a lot of the spirit boxes. I don't know if you ever gotten into spirit boxes and water ITC, but that's completely different, two separate things. So I have 2 teams that do that as well. So, you know, I get my share of the paranormal. I live it. You know, I live for the paranormal.
I'd give anything to have a thermal. I want a thermal so bad, but them things.
I got one.
Yeah.
I just got one recently. It was kind of a Christmas present, kind of. But the team ended up pitching in, and we ended up getting a small thermal, rather cheap.
Well, yeah, there's some small ones. The ones
Yeah.
that we looked at's got like about an inch screen on it, little bitty, you know.
Oh, wow.
But you gotta pay to play, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These thermals, you buy a certain one, it only just does the screen. You can't record, and then one takes pictures, and the other one takes videos.
In other words.
Oh yeah, a couple thousand.
So
Yeah, you're right.
at what age did you actually get into doing the paranormal stuff?
Well, I used to have experiences when I was younger in the teens, but as far as getting into it, and I'd say only about 10, 15 years ago, when this whole thing all started, was when I started building it all up. But I've always been interested in the paranormal, you know. I don't know if you have any experiences happen to you, but I used to live in this 1800 house in Salem on Gifford Court. And I used to wake up, my room is like really, really huge. Like everything's all hardwood floors, and, you know, everything's all old and stuff. It was an 1800s house. And I used to wake up every morning, and my comforter would be all the way across the room. And I'd be like, you know what I mean? Like, I'd wake up the next morning, I'd wake up, it'd be all the way across the room. And I'm like, you know, what's up with that? Well, one day I was actually frozen, but my eyes were open.
Mm-hmm.
And I could lay there, but I couldn't move. And the silhouette of a shadow came up, and my alarm clock was going off. Now, this thing came out of a laying position, sat up, shut my alarm clock off, laid back down into the bed, disappeared, and then I was able to move.
Forget
and I
that.
just find that really weird. Yeah, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, you know, that's am I dreaming? Is, you know, is this? It's crazy. But you used to see shadows and stuff like that in this house, and I don't consider myself sensitive to seeing things. And for me to see that, it was kind of really bizarre.
I really don't think you have to be a sensitive to see certain things. I kind of believe that the spirits, if they want to show themselves to you, they will. You don't have to necessarily be a sensitive or medium or any of that stuff. Now, it might help if you can actually sense and do all that, but I think if they want you to know they're there, they're going to let you know they're there. You know?
Yeah.
But I also think that you have to be in tune to it, though, because people tell me all the time that are like psychics, that they're trying to talk to me, but I can't hear them. And I can hear them. But once they know that you can see or hear them, it's like you attract them. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And doing EVPs, especially alone, attracts them because you can hear them on the voice recorders. So it's like attracts them to you. But I don't get bothered by things in my house. I don't see or hear anything. So I think it's just about learning to be in tune to it.
In a way, that might be a good thing. And in a way, that might be a not so good thing.
Yeah, it goes both ways.
You know, once you start attracting all this stuff, you got to learn how to shut it off. And if you don't, it will drive you loony.
Yeah, it will.
You can have hundreds of them a day coming through. Hey, Christina, you know, blah, 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 you know.
But you got to learn to shut that switch off.
Yes. Yep.
You know, I can do a spell that can make me in tune to see and hear things, but do I really want to do that?
Now, let me ask you a question about that.
Yeah.
When did you start getting into spells and stuff like that?
I've been doing it for, I don't know, almost probably a little over 5 years now. I started getting into the witchcraft and into the spells. I don't know why. Just I feel attracted to it. I feel it's me. You know what I mean?
What the first spell you ever did was?
Probably a luck spell, because I had bad luck because a psychic told me that I actually had the evil eye on me. And I had to learn all about the evil eye, the macaque eye or something like that. It's an Italian curse. And it's someone that is very jealous of you and very envious of you, put a spell on you. Or not a spell, a curse on you. And it gives you, it gives you bad luck. It gives you misfortune, even death. You know what I mean? I've read all about it. And the thing is it makes you sick. And I had this black cloud over me for the longest time. And I couldn't figure out why until someone told me it was because of the evil eye. So I had to do 2 rituals to get it off me. And there's a spell that not a spell, but a ritual to do to figure out if you have it or not, with oil and water. And if it comes together, you know, into this big, you have it. And if it spreads apart and it doesn't touch each other, you don't have it. So I finally got rid of that. And my luck has turned around, you know, since then. And things are working for me now when nothing's worked for me before. It's kind of weird, but it happens.
That's a good.
And then, and then I told there was a family member that did it to me, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know to this day who did it to me.
Nothing against religion or Christians or anything like this, but I learned a long time ago. Family and preachers will stick it to you quicker than anybody.
Yeah.
Because that happened to my brother.
Yeah. Yes, they will. Definitely, they will. So, does anything paranormal ever scare you? Have you ever had an opportunity to get the bejesus scared out of you? Or, you know, what scares you? Anything?
Well, the paranormal doesn't scare me. What scares me is spiders and water. I'm very afraid of those 2 things, and mirrors. But paranormal doesn't scare me.
Wait.
My father passed.
You said spiders and what? Water and what?
Spiders, water, and mirrors. I'm afraid of mirrors.
Why?
I don't like mirrors.
Melons for a minute there.
No. I'm afraid of what I'll see in them. I'm just afraid of them. They're portals. I don't know. I have this bad feeling about mirrors. I don't like them. So
I take it you don't use a devil's toy box then?
No. Nope. Not at all. Nope. But my father passed away in his home, and I seen things fly off shelves, cabinets open and close. No, it doesn't scare me. I used to go to Danvers State, the Danvers Asylum there.
Yep.
In Danvers, the one on the hill. And I used to go in there at 3 o'clock in the morning and jump in the windows and go down the tunnels. And I used to know the place like the back of my hand. I used to be in pure darkness by myself, and that didn't even scare me. Mm. But I never seen something in there, so never caught anything out of all the times I went.
What is your opinion on what a spirit truly is, and why do you think they exist?
Well, spirit to me, I mean, obviously I believe our souls, our energy is our spirit, and I believe we just inhabit bodies and learn lessons here on earth. And I believe that when we do pass, we do go on to bigger and better things. And I believe in reincarnation, and I believe in the whole afterlife, the book of life. I believe in all that, everything that happens over there. So why do we exist? I think our souls, which are our eyes, I believe our eyes are our windows to our soul. And I believe they exist 100%. And I just believe we just keep continuing to be reincarnated on earth to keep learning lessons and stuff like that. So that's what I believe.
Now, I've read stuff about when you cross over, you have certain things that you have to accomplish, right? but karma also has a role in what happens when you get over there. If you have a bunch of bad karma, you gotta however you do it, you gotta make amends for all that before you can transgress into the next.
Well, yeah, I think, like, you know, there's certain levels up and certain levels down, and I think you have to, when you cross over, you go through a lot of that, but you don't get judged over there. You're afraid of judgment, and that's what stops you from crossing over, because you're afraid to be judged. But there's no judgment over there. But it's all you. You judge yourself over there. You know, they show you your life, what could have been, what is, and what would it could have been different, from what I understand. You know what I mean? They show you that, and they show it to you in like a video form of, this is what happened, and if you didn't take that road, this is what could have happened, or this is what you missed out on, or something like that. But I just believe it's
So is that like the whole
complicated.
life flashing before your eyes thing?
Yeah, it's like you learn all about yourself, and you learn about how your feelings, what you did on earth, or your life. I feel like you learn what other people felt by your actions, felt by your mistakes, felt by, you know, what you did in life. And I think you learn a lot of lessons, and it's all about learning. You're always learning something new, and then you can move forward, you know what I mean? And you can go to the next level, you know what I mean? And then you get closer and closer to being reincarnated back into your life again. And which I found out you choose. You choose your life, you choose your parents, you choose everything that you are today, or you were born as, you choose. And I asked that question before, and I learned a lot of this from other shows that I've been on, and our shows that we had guests on, and we asked their questions, you ask them questions, and you get to learn about all of it, and it's really, really cool. Why would you want to be a bum? Why would you want to be so poor? Why did I choose a life that's so hard? You know? And the answer that I got was, because you want to learn what it's like to be that way. It's all about learning.
I don't think I wanted to learn what it was like to be poor. I'd rather been born a rich person, but.
Yeah, but you don't know, but you don't care about that on the other side. You don't care about the feelings and the hurt and the pain and the sorrow on the other side. You just want to learn to live it. And then when you get over here, you're like, oh, geez, oh, I'm screwed. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, why did I do that to myself? But,
yeah, why do I want to go over and be
it's all about it.
I got a question, and you or John, either one can answer this one, because this is something I posted on Facebook the other day. Do you believe, because lots of people say that some of the same things that go on here actually goes on over there. So do you believe that they have like the severe weather situations over there like we do over here? You know, like, do they have storms?
I don't know about the weather situations. I believe that it's mirrored. I believe our Earth is, you know, a mirror of the afterlife, or the afterlife's a mirror of the Earth. I believe that when you die, you come right out of your body and you walk the same earth, just in a different realm. But I was told I was kind of wrong in that. But that's what I believe. I believe, like, I just will start walking the same earth. You get to go back to, you know what I mean? Like, it's exactly the same. That's what I believed it to be. But I guess I might be wrong in some aspects of that.
Well,
I don't believe there is weather over there. There is no time over there.
That is possible if you think about it, because why do you think when you go into a haunted asylum or something, there's spirits in there? They're still walking in the same. They're just in spirit.
They're just in a different realm, but they're still in the same earth.
So, John, your opinion?
My opinion, I was just going to say, my opinion, and this is me being skeptical, like I always am.
I love it.
My opinion on that is, I don't think we're really going to know until we get there.
That's true. That is true.
And once we get there, we're not going to have the opportunity to really tell people unless they ask that question, I guess. I mean, because we can't take our equipment with us and document everything.
Hey, they might have equipment over there, though.
Hey, you never know. But I think my answer to that is, we just have to wait and see.
You know, I wonder if spirits go around over there with recorders and they're in the same buildings on the other side, right? And they're going, I think there's a living person here. Are you with us?
Now, do you think, Christina, do you think that when you go on your paranormal investigations and you start getting into whether it's a residential or a public place or whatever the case may be, and you know that there's spirits there, you might have been there 100 times. Do you think that they actually see us? And if they do you think that they knew that you were coming?
Well, I think they do see us, yes. Whether they know that we're coming, I'm not sure about that, because to me, being on the other side in the afterlife, you would know it all. You would know everything. And if you ever ask a spirit on a device recorder, you know, I do ask them if they see me, and they do tell me yes when I do the pendulums and stuff. But if I ever ask what the afterlife was like, it's like I don't think they can tell us what it's like. Like they have to hold it to themselves, keep it to themselves. I don't think they can tell us, because I've never got any responses back from anything, asking anything about the afterlife, and even direct responses to my questions. I always get other answers that, or conversations that don't even go to my question. It's like they don't care what I'm asking; they just want to talk.
Yeah, right.
You know
I
what I mean?
agree with that, because I have asked that question before when I'd been getting responses and didn't get nothing to that at all.
Yeah, or nothing to what you asked. You know what I mean?
To that.
But I do get direct responses in my house and stuff when I ask if you like it here. From what I understand, the spirits in my house, they love it here. They told me they love it here. They told me they are not stuck. They can leave if they want, but they don't want to. So that's kind of comforting. So they do give you direct responses to your questions. It's just, I think, only if they want to answer you or not.
Well,
They can do what they want, right?
Googly eyes. That's what he.
Oh yeah, I have an admirer
I just want to put out a good
in my
point.
house.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
All right, so I just wanted
Go
to
ahead.
put out a good point. Mary said in the chat room, and I think this is a very good point. Tools we have out there that we used to measure and record and everything else, they only record what's going on in this world, so we don't know what's going on in that world.
That's true.
So it's a really good point. You know, I mean, there's no way for us to really tell what's going on in the other realm.
Well, and when you get responses from a spirit on your recorder or whatever, it's usually the ones that have crossed over into this.
Yeah, like earthbound spirits.
You know.
Yeah.
Now, see, and that makes me always have to ask this question, because if the veil is thin enough that a spirit can come through from over there and come over here, why couldn't we go through over there?
Exactly.
Wouldn't that be cool? I would love that.
I mean, I might regret it once I did, but I'd love to just for, a couple of seconds be able to poke my head through and just look,
I just like to,
Yeah, you can't.
really scare
You
us.
might be scared of what you Yeah, you might be scared of what you see.
Well, that's true. Because you really don't know what they look like over there.
Right.
I mean, you see a shadow figure over here, or a full body apparition over here looks human. You stick your head in over there, it might be like on the Black Pearl, with the here there be monsters, and you see all the skeleton people,
Yeah.
So, yeah, ain't no telling what you're gonna see if you stick your head in there. But
That's true.
have to do it.
They're all screaming. The souls are all screaming.
Yeah.
You never know.
But if I could do it, I'd have to stick my head in there just for a couple of seconds. That's that inquisitive thing in me, I gotta know.
Would it change your mind?
Huh?
Would it change your mind if you got to see it for 2 seconds?
Change my mind about what?
I don't know, about anything. Just seeing, just to be able to see it.
Might change my mind whether or not I want to go over there and live.
Yeah, that's true.
Be dead over there, whatever.
But you really don't have a choice.
No,
Eventually
that's
you're gonna get to that point.
Well, eventually they'll figure out a way that we can just like transfer our brain into a robot. We'll just keep going on and on, have a artificial body.
It'll be like that cartoon TV show there. What's it, Futurama?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So, Christina, what are some of the haunted places that you've been in? When you've been there, what's the worst or the best experience that you've ever had that still sticks with you today?
In Salem?
Anywhere.
Oh, hello? There you are.
Anywhere. What place have you
Anywhere?
been? Yeah, anywhere. What's the best experience or worst that you've ever had?
Or both.
Honestly, I don't have that many experiences. I really don't. I don't see here. I don't experience a couple, you know, in that house in Salem, and a lot of EVP times. As far as experiencing the paranormal, it'd have to be what I caught on EVPs. You know, I'm thinking about becoming more attuned and seeing, you know, because if I could see the other side and I could help them, and I had spirits come to me and they gave me, and especially the earthbound spirits who need to be crossed over, you know what I mean, to the other side, because it's up to you whether you do that. So I don't really have many experiences to share, unfortunately.
And he pretty much kind of almost asked what I was going to ask. What was your first experience with spirits? But
Yeah, that would be when I was little, you know, the stuff I used to experience in Salem, in the Salem places I live. But other than that, yeah.
Do you think that Salem, being Salem and the history that it's had, is probably more active with paranormal activity, comparing it to other places in Massachusetts?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's very haunted. And, you know, if you're one that's sensitive, you can see that when you go down there, you know, or an empath or anything like that. You'll be able to feel it and see it. But every time I go into Salem and I take pictures of the places, I always come back with faces, things in the pictures. There's never been a time I haven't caught anything. EVP-wise, I get lots of responses, just like I would anywhere else. It's just as haunted, whether it is or more. A lot of places, I mean, what makes any place haunted?
Right.
You know? Even a new building can be haunted due to the fact of the land.
yeah.
You know, it's the land, not so much the house.
Now, I asked you what your first experience was. Now, if you could go back to that experience, would you do anything different? What would you do?
If I go back to that experience,
Yeah.
I don't know what I could do differently. Yeah, I couldn't move, you know, and I don't know what I could do differently, but I don't know why I was able to see that or experience it, but I did. You know, I don't think there's anything I could do differently. I'd probably start EVPing in my house. I'd go back then, and I would be like, "Oh, this is so cool!" Let me grab a DVR and let's start asking questions. That's what I'd do differently. Because I wasn't doing that back then. You know what I mean?
So, what is your favorite piece of equipment?
It would have to be either the DVR or the pendulum.
Do you find that
I like
the
working
pendulum?
with those too.
Do you find that the pendulum works?
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
It does.
Now, is there?
Yeah, I can get that thing swinging.
Is there any kind of training that you have to do to learn how to use a pendulum properly? Because scientists have said that your hands still do move even though you're holding them still. Is there, like, you know, do you have to use it a lot to really know how to use it?
you use it and hold it in your hand before you start to use it, gives it the energy, and it gives it the energy of you. You know what I mean? I know it, skeptics would say, oh, you can move it, you can make it sway, but you really can't. If I'm holding it still and the thing is swinging, because horizontal would be no, and vertical would be yes, and in-betweens would be maybe. So if I get that thing and it's swinging like this, and I ask it to stop, that thing comes to a complete stop. Can I do that? I really can't. So
Yeah, I would imagine you could.
I can,
but it would. Yeah, right. It would take. You'd see it. You'd see the person trying to stop it.
Absolutely.
So now that you use pendulums, what are your thoughts on Ouija boards? Because I get that question all the time, and I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I used to use Ouija boards all the time when I was young. I used to think it was, I just used to do it, and you can bring in a lot of evilness. I don't recommend using the Ouija board. I really don't. I think it's very dangerous. I think, you got to be careful. I mean, as long as you know how to use it properly and, say goodbyes and wipe your board clean. And, you can invite evilness into your home through that. It's a portal, just like a mirror would be a portal, just like water would be a portal.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
you know what I mean?
A lot of people say that when you do EVP with a recorder and all that, you're doing the same thing as if you were using a Ouija board. You're inviting people in.
They say that the same thing with the spirit box.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the spirit box. I'm just very new to that, and I'm learning about that. The spirit box gives me a headache. It's hard for me to use them. It does. The white noise and it gives me a headache. And then I'm trying to hear voices inside this, and I don't understand it that well.
I think the spirit
but
box, you have to train your ear for the spirit box.
You do. Just like you have to train your ear for listening for EVPs.
Yes.
And I have bad ears. I do. I have permanent tubes in my ears. I've got them cut several times in my life. My eardrums don't even register on the scale. I have very bad ears. And that's why I send all my work that I do out to my evidence reviewer, Stefan, in New York. And he does an excellent job. And he brings me back the evidence what I've caught through just talking to them.
It's like I got a guy that does all my audio review too, and he listens live with a recorder and everything else, and he's really good. He's actually my co-host, Ryan. He does a really good job. Has a good set of ears, and if he says it is or it isn't, I believe him because I have bad ears myself. I've been around heavy equipment for 20 some odd years, so my hearing isn't the best. But when he says yes or no, I believe him.
I blew my ears up at a young age.
Exactly.
So who would you say in all the people you talked to or met or whatever in the paranormal field, who would you say is your mentor?
My mentor?
Yeah, you look up to.
Oh, I look up to a lot of people.
No, I mean your mentor, the one that you have the most respect for, that you look up to, that you feel like you've learned a lot from, and you look up to them, you respect them. You know what I'm saying?
I would say it would be my lead investigator on my team spot, Corey Thibodeau. He's a real good friend of mine, and I learned a lot from him, and I just think he's absolutely amazing when it comes to the paranormal field. So I'd have to say Corey.
Okay. Hats off to Corey.
Yes, he's amazing. He's he's a reverend. He does a lot. He's been in this field his whole life. So
that's kind of like Dusty. He's our team founder and everything. But Dusty's one of these people he's just so laid back and you know, he'll go into a place and everything, and trust me, he uses the Bible. He'll break out,
Yeah.
you know, and we did a live Halloween show at a church in Big Sandy, Tennessee, and I told him he needs to get his Bible and get up there and preach a sermon. So he did. He got the Bible up there. He opened up. He starts reading, and I'll be dang if that computer didn't start shaking.
Really?
Yeah, and that was some crazy stuff. But yeah, he's. I guess he's kind of like my mentor in a sense, because I'm older than he is, but he's wiser than I am, if that makes sense, when it comes to paranormal stuff.
Yeah. No, I understand.
I had a mentor once. Keyword. And then just asked me to do stuff that I didn't agree with, which tends to happen in the paranormal community. I'm not going to mention any names because that's not me, but I since left the group and started my own. So, and the internet and people I've been talking to all over the place, just asking questions and networking has been my mentor. So I can't just say one person in particular.
Yeah. No, I hear you on that. I mean, I've met a lot of people doing Haunted Salem, you know, and I've met them and been friends with them so long that I feel like they're my family, and I can go anywhere I want to in the United States and have some place to go.
Yeah.
You know, I've met a lot of people, fantastic people that, you know, you trust and you learn to love. And, you know, there's a lot of people. So yeah, I agree with that. It's hard to say one person. Absolutely.
Yeah. The paranormal field it's kind of like that scale, you know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of good people and there's a lot of bad people, and it kind of fluctuates like this, you know. And I mean, I've met a lot of good people, and I've met some bad people.
Oh, absolutely.
And when I say met, I'm not talking about personally, like, you know, we bumped into each other. I'm talking about like through Facebook and Google and all that. And, you know, and this is one of the things, and you can talk to this person and they'll say, well, so-and-so is bad. He does this or she does that or whatever. But that's their opinion. Unless you know personally, because you've experienced it from that person, you can't judge that person, you know. And so it's kind of, sometimes being in the paranormal field can be hard when it comes to dealing with other people, you know. Now, I've worked with some good people. Matthew and Melinda Blick are awesome people, husband and wife team up in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and worked with a guy out of Smyrna, Tennessee. Both, you know, all good people. But that doesn't mean that everybody is going to work with you together like that, you know, and be, you know, have their heart and head in the same place, so to speak.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Anyway, back to the old drawing board here. Haunted Salem page, we talked a little bit about it. I wanted you to go a little in depth about it. Some of the stories in there are the information on this certain things is got a lot. I mean, I remember reading like some of them. I didn't think I was ever going to get to the end of it, but I mean, it was just so cool, you know? And then there's some shorter ones, of course. But where do you get a lot of this stuff?
Oh, I can't tell you that.
I kill you.
Exactly. Let's just say this. I'm good at what I do. I do what I do. And you see it every day. So
Well, yeah, I'll give you that. You're good at what you do.
I'm good at what I do, and I do it fast.
Okay, yeah.
I do it so fast, okay, that I get people that delete me because they can't keep up with me. And let me tell you right now, you have to shut the notifications off on Haunted Salem, or I'm going to drive you nuts.
That's actually the first thing I do on any page I join is shut the notifications off.
Yeah, shut the notifications right off because I have WordPress. And everything and every article that I've done in Haunted Salem, I keep in a WordPress. And I think I'm up to 3,200 articles. So I have so many articles that I've done in the past 10 years, I tend to repost them. So it's easy for me to go really fast because all I'm doing is taking my old articles and just reposting them. You know what I mean? And I have so many of them, I'm able to do that. And I have so many people that are new to the group that they haven't seen it before. So I'm recycling. I'm constantly recycling. And adding, you know.
It's good to recycle. You know, we like recycling.
Oh, absolutely.
I recycle some stuff every now and then.
Yes.
But, I mean, I just find that page really interesting. And I'm sure John's been in there and snooped around a little bit.
I'm looking at it now.
Thank you.
There's some.
Yeah, what you got to do.
Go ahead.
If you just go into the photos, I got shut off before, okay? Haunted Salem's not my real name. We all know that, okay? And Facebook they kept shutting me off and deleting my account because they want to see my license.
Yeah.
So I had to change the name to my real name and put under it Haunted Salem just so they would leave me alone. But I had like 5,000 fans on my page alone, and I lost them all. I had to start over, I think 4 times. I've lost people throughout the years. Like it's really bad. And I had to start over. So that's why I made the Haunted Salem page, because I can have as many people as I want in the page and they can't shut me off. Once you hit 5,000 on your Haunted Salem page, not the group, the page, you can't get any more friends. In the group, I'm able to get as many as I want. You know, so that's why I made the official page a group. That's why I don't post on my page, I post in the group. Because I was tired of losing everybody. I was tired of it. I kept losing everybody over and over and over again. And I calmed down a lot with my adult humor. And I used to get shut down a lot. So I used to, you know, I calmed down quite a bit over the years. But they used to shut me off for that. Yeah. Yeah. Some people would get offended, you know, I'd lose people, but you know, you weed it out, you know.
Well, so far I haven't had anybody really kick me for my adult humor, but you know, and I look at it this way, it's my page. If you don't like it, scroll on, you know.
Exactly.
Unlike it.
Yeah, exactly.
Very simple. You
know,
know,
everyone that friend requests me, they do it to themselves. I don't look for them, they look for me.
And I try to.
I didn't ask you to be there.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, but sometimes it's hard because some really funny stuff can be pretty dirty. And I'll see something and I'll be like, God, that's too funny not to share, and I'll share it up, and first thing here's.
So Christina, let me ask you, what is one of the most well-known places that you've been in Salem, outside of the United States, in Massachusetts, anywhere? What is the biggest well-known place you've ever been?
Biggest well-known place? It'd have to be in Salem, because there are like 30 locations in Salem that are haunted, and I've been to like every one of them. People from all over the world come to Salem, especially on Halloween. Salem's the place to be. But I mean, I don't get to travel that much. I've been to places in Maine, New Hampshire. You know, I've been to California or Florida. I even been to Hawaii, but nothing on the paranormal sort to go out there. But I'd say all the haunted stuff, paranormal stuff, I'd have to just say Salem. Yeah.
Are they really open to letting investigators come in and do that kind of stuff there?
You have to get a hold of the owner, and half of them, they don't let you in. No.
Yeah.
Like the what is it? The Joshua Ward house, they're turning that into a hotel right now.
Oh, really?
They're taking one of the best haunted places, one of the most haunted places in Salem, Okay, and they constructioned it and they turned it into a hotel for the rich. It's like lots of money to stay there. And I'm like, why would you do something like that? Why don't you, do something else with it? Why would you do that? Like, they're taking all these places, like the Salem jail, they shut it down and made it into apartments.
Why?
That's history. That's history.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You're taking all that history and you're changing it, and it's not right.
They made it into what?
They made Joshua Ward House in Salem,
the jail.
right there. The jail they made into apartments and a restaurant and a museum.
I think I've heard about the restaurant. Ain't that where you can eat in one of the cells?
Something like that, but I think it's no longer there anymore. I don't know. I don't think it's there anymore. But the people live there. They made it into luxury condos. But I don't know anyone that lives there to see if anything haunted's going on in there. But I broke into that jail once, and there was a lot of mattresses, written things on the walls. There was pee buckets everywhere. I think the bums used to go in there and sleep in there. You know what I mean? I broke into it once, and that was fun. I love breaking into things. Can I say that? No, I didn't say that. No, I do. I love it. I love it. Actually, Mary has a question in chat.
Go for it.
Have I ever had a place so creepy that I was freaked out by? The only place I was freaked out by was the Danvers State Hospital, the lunatic asylum.
No,
I went in that place. Oh my God, you missed out on such a good time.
Yes, I did. Rub it in my face.
Yes, you did.
Go ahead.
There is so much in there. It was a fallout shelter, and they had TVs and pills and crackers and just all this equipment I used to take. I used to take marble fireplaces, blueprints. I used to find blueprints galore in that place, and I tried to take anything I could out of that place. Ivory doorknobs.
Really?
Running down the hill with mirrors. Oh yeah, I used to do a lot of damage to that.
But somebody
I used to go all the way up to the tower.
Running down the hill with a mirror.
Yep.
I'm scared.
Yeah, it used to freak me out. I used to run from security a lot there, and that was a good time. I actually dated one of the security guys there, and he took me up to the tower, and we used to set firecrackers off just to scare the other security guards.
Really?
It was awesome.
That's fun.
Yeah, it was a good time.
I'm still
Good time.
picturing you running.
And now they.
with Samara going. Now you see me. Now you don't. Now you.
I'm telling you, anything I could take, I did. I ran down that hill so fast. Good times.
Now I'm going to ask a question. The House of I'm looking in Paranormal Underworld says House of Seven Gables is a place you can get into. I tried and I had no luck.
I actually had 4 complimentary tickets to the House of Seven Gables that I could have went and took my friends to, and instead I donated them to a Haunted Salem fan.
There you go.
Yeah, and I sent them out to that person, and hopefully they enjoyed the tickets. But you can get into the House of Seven Gables. It's open as tours.
Oh, really?
Photograph or anything in there.
But they won't let you go in there and do it like an investigation or anything to that effect.
Oh God, no. They won't even let you. They don't even let you bring cameras in there.
I've been in there. It's a cool house. It's a really cool house.
Yeah. You know what they say, and this is going to be really, really weird, but they say the people who are born and live here has never been in anything that the tourists come down here to see on a yearly basis.
Really?
And that's true. I have never been to the House of Seven Gables. I've never been to the Museum Dungeon. I've never been to all these places. The Witch House. I've never taken a tour on anything in Salem. And you know what? I think it's about time I actually do, since I live here. From around the world to come to these places, and I've never been in one of them.
That's like I've
been around them. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's like I don't go down Plymouth a lot because I'm about 5 minutes from Plymouth. So I'm just like, yeah, whatever. I go down there, I get pizza, and I go home. The big deal. It's a big thing in the summertime. Everybody's down there.
Yeah. Halloween, though, is my favorite time.
We talked about it before, about the actual hanging tree. And
They know where it is now.
okay, yeah, I remember you saying. And you know, if the kid actually took a boat and went around behind there and went up and took his mother's body down, then it would have to be close to the river. Or the
Yeah.
water.
Gallows Hill, okay, where they claim Gallows Hill is today is not Gallows Hill. And actually it's down around the corner where this Walgreens is on the corner of Boston Street and a Bridge Street. Okay. And at this Walgreens in front of it, you have the North River.
Right.
So Walgreens was the actual place where they claim now, and which would put the hanging tree somewhere around the North River.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where they claim it is now.
You know,
But you go to Gallows Hill. Yeah, exactly. But you go to Gallows Hill where Gallows Hill is supposed to be, and it still is haunted because that's the land.
but I mean, there's so many places there that is haunted, though. I mean, you could probably go just about anywhere and find some kind of activity, you know. But I was just curious of where the actual Gallows Hill was, because we know it had to be near the water.
Yeah, it'd be the North River. And that river stinks. That's a real smelly river.
I was gonna say, like, literally smells.
It literally smells. They have cars in there. They have wagons, shopping carts. It's filled with trash. It stinks to high heaven. You know, it is what it is.
So somebody wanted to know, is that Walgreens haunted?
Not that I know of. I mean, you think it would be, but I don't know, honestly. I never asked. I never went in there and asked.
Yeah,
maybe I should.
It would be if that's where it was.
Yeah, that's where I probably should, huh?
Maybe it was where the parking lot is. So you stand out in the parking lot with a recorder, and everybody's like, "What are you doing?"
Hey, you think that's funny? You think that's funny? We got a place down here, Christina, you might have heard of it, Cottage Park down here in Plymouth. It used to be an old rope factory, and people have died in there, so on and so forth. There are people that go into Cottage Park, go into the public bathrooms with voice recorders, video cameras, and will ask questions because the owner does not want paranormal investigators there after hours. So they will literally go in there with voice recorders and start doing EVP sessions in the bathroom. I kid you not. I haven't done it yet, but they do it.
You should. I'd love to do it with you since you're so close.
That's the story. I haven't done it yet. Scout's honor.
Well, I go there quite a bit because I drive like a taxi bus on Mondays and Fridays, and I drive the people for dialysis and stuff like that. And I always use the bathroom while I'm there because that's the rule. If there's a bathroom, you better go now because you don't know when you're going to get a chance to go again. So I go in there and I'm like, damn, man, I forgot a voice recorder.
Yeah, and I could see you in there, and you start getting responses on your recorder, right? And these people are waiting on the van to go to what? Where's he
on the
at?
stall.
Where is he?
What is he doing? Can you see me? And people are answering you on the other side. I can only see your feet. You know. Oh man.
Well, there's actually another question in chat from Paranormal Underworld. If you could name one place in the world to investigate, where would it be? I have a infatuation with, I don't know why. And the place I want to go is Penthurst.
Yes. Thank you.
Penthurst is one of my favorite places for some reason, and if I could investigate anything, it would be Penthurst.
That's at the tip top of my bucket list.
Now, I did go to San Fran and make it to Alcatraz. I never took the ferry over to Alcatraz Island, but if there's another place, my second place would be Alcatraz.
Well, you could have swam.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Remember when the guys escaped from Alcatraz, they had to cross the thing there.
Right.
That'll be the day. No, I'm afraid of water. I would never swim. And I
I'll
can't
do it.
because I can't get my ears wet.
Yeah,
Well,
my
you ain't
daughter.
gotta worry about the water. The shark's gonna eat you anyway.
No, I don't care about the sharks. I'm afraid of drowning. I am. I'll fight those sharks off.
Yeah, I believe you would too.
Oh, I would.
I really.
My Italian temper will come out.
Um. Now you have I don't know if it's a group or a page. Haunted 31 Days of Halloween.
Yes, yes. Horror and Halloween are my favorite. And
Oh.
I created a group called Haunted 31 Days of Halloween, and it's all about Halloween, obviously. And the whole month of October, I do contests. I do online raffles, contests, and trivia games, anything that I possibly can, and you can win prizes. And I actually have 3 people who won last year, and I'm just starting to get everything together and send them their gifts out. But this is the second year I've done it, so this year would be my third when I do it this October. But I thought it would be fun thing to do for people, and have them win things. So that's why I did that.
It's interesting. You can do a lot of little funny clips about Halloween, or you can even put some realism into it,
Yes.
Um,
I do a lot of movie. I write things a lot about movies and the horror movies and stuff like that. It's just it's hard for me to do Haunted Salem, 31 Days of Halloween. It's hard for me to do 2 shows a week. You know what I mean? And keep up with everything. I'm only one person, so I don't get to do as much as I want in different areas. But I am trying to find people to come and help me.
right.
And that's what I've been doing. So I got to find people to come and help me and help me get it going. Because the whole thing started when I started doing Haunted Salem. I actually wanted to create a haunted magazine, and I'm still doing it. I'm trying to get the rights for my name. I'm trying to do a lot. It's all in the works. I'm trying to do tours in Salem. I'm trying to do everything I possibly can. And I just got to keep on fighting and keep on. Those obstacles keep hitting me, but I got to keep on just get out there. But I am going to start my own haunted magazine and start passing it out in Salem.
Nice.
I think that'd be cool. And you know what? My son agrees with me. I want to buy a hearse.
Yeah.
Spray paint Haunted Salem on the side and drive around doing my investigations. I think that would be so cool.
I can tell you one thing. Somebody has already beat you to it.
Yep.
Really?
Not Haunted Salem, though, but
Hollywood. Haunted Hollywood.
Haunted Hollywood. It's okay. They can.
And I got a
They
person.
can do their thing. Oh, really?
Yeah. Never heard.
You're saying,
Yeah, I'll do it one day. What's that, Roger?
John?
What's up?
You're saying they have one around where y'all are?
Yeah, they have a hearse, and they do all sorts of tours on Burial Hill, Plymouth, and I don't remember the name, nor do I want to give them a shout out either. That's for a story for a later time. But they do have, and they park their hearse on the main drag in Plymouth, and it's got the name of the group. I'll be damned if I can remember it. But yeah, and it's funny to watch because they always leave a lantern unattended, and the fire trucks have to come out and put it out. So,
Really?
yeah, it's really funny. It really is.
So they have a gas lantern or, an oil lantern or?
Oil, gas, I don't know. But the fire department's come out several times, and I'm sure that they've gotten slapped with some unattended flames, tickets and
That's
so
all right.
A few fines here and there.
I'm sorry.
That
Yeah,
seems to be
fines,
my
yeah.
dream. My dream.
Well,
My
see,
dream's gonna get that hearse.
we wanted to get one down here and put half-past dead on it, and
Yeah.
use it to do. And we was talking about getting a coffin and designing it to hold all of our equipment when we pull up at a residential Pull his coffin out, and everybody's like, "What the?" You open it up,
Oh,
and
wow. That's awesome.
you're in there, you know. But I thought that would be
Well, I'm
really
shooting for my goals. Yeah. You got to shoot for your goals.
well,
You
yeah.
got to do it.
Now, there's one that I want, and I don't know if y'all seen the picture on Facebook or not. They posted a picture of it. It's black. It's an old hearse. It's a real old hearse, and it's got like in the windows, it's got curtains, you know, that are like this, black curtains in it. And I would love to have that.
Nice.
That would be just so cool.
Oh, it would be.
I think I have to beat my dogs over here. So, but yeah, that one would be really cool. And they're just, it looks like they're just letting it sit there and rust, man. You know, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right now,
Can't
it's
do that.
actually repairable. It's fixable. But it looks like they just got it sitting in a backyard somewhere, and it's just sitting there. You know.
Oh, wow.
But anyway, man, we've talked about hearses and all kinds of stuff.
I love it. I can't wait.
I want a hearse. I really do.
You know what?
But,
Forget the hearse. I'm going to get the old school ambulance from Ghostbusters, and I am
Oh,
going to
yeah.
drive around with that siren going everywhere I go.
I love that.
Meow, meow.
But if you do,
I'm telling you, every Halloween.
you got to have the photon.
Every Halloween when I go down to Salem. Oh, yeah, the proton pack?
Yeah, yeah. Don't cross the streams. It would be really bad. Tell them about the Twinkie. But yeah, you got to have the whole photon pack on the top and everything.
Yep,
You know? Yeah, no doubt. Now you got to ask yourself. Now, talking about this movie, they had the photon packs that they wore on their back, right? And they have, you know, their rod or whatever. What was the humongous one on top of the car for? Was that for melting the marshmallow guy?
I don't know. I don't even think it was ever used.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It was there. They never used it. I wonder if that was for melting the big marshmallow guy. You know, we'll just break out the heavy duty. We'll make marshmallow cream out of you, buddy.
Are you talking about the second movie, the one they remade?
Oh, the first one.
Oh, okay.
Remember?
I didn't watch the second one, though. I didn't want to.
No, me
I thought it
neither.
would have ruined it.
Yep.
Clear your mind and think of something harmless. And he thought about the Marshmallow Man.
Yeah. Stay Puff.
Stay Puft, yeah. So they're going to melt Stay Puft with the big nuclear package up on top of the car. So make marshmallow cream out of him.
That's too funny.
I love that movie, by the way.
Yeah.
The second one.
I went. Yeah, I didn't. I won't watch the second one. I don't even want to see it.
And I haven't even. I can't even bring myself to watch the remake with the girls.
That's what I'm talking about. The girls.
Yeah, I can't. No, there was actually a sequel to the first one.
Yes.
And then they remade it with the girls in it.
Yes. Which they'll probably make a sequel to the girls.
Probably.
That seems to be the going thing.
It does good in the box office. They will, trust me. Now, as most of you know, Christina and I host a show called The Paranormal Graveyard. It's on Wednesday night.
Yes.
And this Wednesday night, we have Ghost Seekers Paragon's going to be with us. And Deborah, and I'm not sure how to pronounce her last name because of the way she has it on Facebook. It's ROS and then a space and then SO. So not positive how to pronounce that. So is that Ross?
Okay.
Or Ross Soul? Or I don't know.
Rosso.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. But anyway, we're gonna have them on, and y'all be sure to come and tune in for that. Now we still have a half hour left, and I'm sure there's lots of other interesting things that Christina can talk about.
Well, I actually have a question in
best.
chat. I got a question. Christina, are you on Halloween forum? We also had a haunted bike rickshaw. It must have been for a very big ghost. The second one was okay. I'm not sure what they're.
A Halloween forum. Yeah, I'm not on any forums, especially a Halloween one. So I'm not sure what they mean for that.
So, Charles, if you can explain the Halloween forum, so that way we can find out if Christina is or is not on there, and that way we can answer the question for you.
Halloween farm?
Forum, yeah.
Forum.
Forum, not farm.
Yeah, like those forums.
I've been on a Halloween farm before.
Oh, yeah. I love Halloween. I went live last year.
From Halloween.
Down there, Roger, they're farms. Up here, they're farms.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
They're
so
farms.
farms.
You gotta get the accent.
Anything up north is a farm.
Okay. That's like
Yeah.
down here it's soda, and up there it's pop.
No R's.
No, no R's.
No, it's soda.
Soda. And it's not pop.
Soda pop.
Yeah.
Soda.
Soda pop. You know, and
Never pop.
Nope.
what does it
I couldn't
say?
even picture me saying that. Can I have some pop?
Oh, I can't even. I've
Yeah.
been brought up here. It's soda. Can I have a glass of soda?
Yeah.
And they give you whatever you ask for. They give you a Dr. Pepper. You know.
Yeah, and it's not supper. I mean, it's not dinner. It's supper.
Supper.
I don't know. I say dinner.
It's
What's for
supper.
dinner?
Do you really? I say supper.
Yeah.
Supper.
Sometimes, but that.
Hey,
I mean,
Well,
that was my grandmother. What's for supper?
I had to put that
what's for supper?
Southern hillbilly slang to it. It's supper.
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 See, I can't even say it. Supper.
Supper.
Sounds weird.
Supper. Yeah.
It does.
Supper. Now, supper and super are spelt the same exact way.
Well, now
According to our
Supper
guide.
is super.
why do
Supper.
they call it
S-U-P-A-H.
anyway, or supper, or whatever? Does that mean you have to sup everything up, or
All right.
Like we say, wicked pissa.
Yeah, wicked
That's
pisser.
wicked pissa.
Yeah, I can go both ways too.
Oh yeah.
it's a who?
Wicked.
Wicked pissa.
Wicked pisser.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're getting into things this old hillbilly don't know about. That's a northern thing, you know.
That's funny.
I'm sorry, I'm from down here in the South. You know, we all we understand is moonshine and left-handed cigarettes and stuff like that.
Left-handed.
Yeah,
Let me tell you, that moonshine, man, I get it every time my in-laws go down south. They go down to Tennessee and all that, and they go down there and they get the shine, man. Oof, boy, I don't get the strongest one, man. I get what they call, I think it's sour mash, and it's called white lightning.
yeah.
Dude, you want to get twisted quick for 15 minutes? Whoa, man, I'm telling you, that stuff is unbelievable.
Get you a glass about this tall,
Yeah, mason jar, yep.
and it looks like water.
I don't know about going down south. They
And
make it
when
right
you-
in Salem.
When you drink it, it's just like drinking water. You don't feel it till it hits the bottom, and then it's like.
I'm telling you, they could send a space shuttle to Jupiter with this stuff.
Yeah, I mean they can shoot that sucker to Mars and that stuff.
One jar, you
That's
probably
funny.
get about 200 miles to the gallon. Yeah.
My
When
brother
I was
was telling
15, we used to drink the Portuguese Bang Bang.
my brother was telling me about some guys he run into one time, and he was telling me this just today, matter of fact. He said when you pull up, he said they're sitting out on their front porch with shotguns on each side of them, and a jug and little clear cups there. And to prove that you're not from the revenuers or anything like that, they make you drink a shot of that glass of that gin. And he said the guy told him, he said, "See that old Plymouth over there?" He said, "That's what we run in it."
Oh, Jesus.
He said, "It's what it runs on." And you talk about some scary story. You get into some scary stuff. Now you get up there messing around with them old hillbillies. Let me tell you something.
Oh yeah.
I remember going with my granddad to a junkyard one time, way out in the boonies, so he could get a disc rotor for his car. This guy met us at the driveway with a shotgun, bib overalls, and a straw hat, and led us out there to the vehicle. Watched us to make sure we didn't take nothing but the rotor. Took us back to our car, got his money, said, "I'll see y'all, get off my property."
Yeah.
Time welding a shotgun. You know,
Yeah.
and I was a young punk back in them days, right? You know, and I'm like, this guy's fixing to shoot us in the ass with some buckshot here or something. It probably wouldn't be, it'd probably been the full, you know, the high powered buckshot, the whatever I was thinking of rock salt, but
That hurts too.
I was scared half to death. I didn't think we was going to get out of there with that rotor.
So, Christina, let me ask you, what is probably the best piece of evidence of paranormal activity that you have ever caught?
Oh, I have a lot of it. I don't know if I can just pick one. I have some class A's. I mean, I do. Are we talking photos, EVPs, stuff like that? Are we talking about any evidence?
Anything.
A lot of it. We did catch an apparition in Salem.
I'm not surprised.
On photo. Yep. At a residential, we did catch one. The EVPs blow my mind. What I hear on EVPs absolutely blow my mind.
Yes. I had an incident. I don't know if you really want to call it an incident. I was at one of my favorite haunts, which I'm going back to in 2 weeks.
Nice.
I just took a voice recorder, put it down on the table, and we walked away. The whole entire team just walked away. Again, I can't prove that what we caught is legit because there's no way for me to prove the audio, but I know what happened that night. We all walked away. We went down into the cellar of this big, huge building, and we come back, and upon review, we caught a female screaming in this big, giant ballroom. But all the females that were there were with me down in the basement.
Right.
I mean, unfortunately, I can't prove it, but man, it is probably one of the best. I'll have to say EVP because we weren't there when it happened. EVPs that I've ever caught is just a full-on scream, and you can find it on my UPR Underground page. It's called The Scream, and it's listed under the ballroom. And if you get a chance, go check it out because I can't explain it. I really can't explain it. It definitely is interesting, and that's probably one of my favorite. I have yet to catch the holy grail of an apparition in photos or videos, but we do mainly catch. Do you find yourself catching a lot of audio, though? More audio than anything else?
All the time.
Yeah, okay.
All the
So
time.
it's not just me.
I have so much audio in my computers. It's I don't know if I should be catching as much as I do. You know what I mean?
Right.
Especially what they're saying. And they don't care what they have to say to you. I have full-blown swears, sentences. I have conversations. And you listen to it, and you can actually hear the words that they're saying. And it's scary because, like you said, how can you prove the audio, but how can you not? How can you disprove what's coming back to me on audio? Where does it come from? Where is this conversation that's telling me to F off come from? You know, I mean, that's what they do. They have no problem telling me off.
No. I got a phone call one day to go into this 10-year-old building, which after doing the research and everything else on the history of the building, all it was just they bought the land, they built a movie theater, so on and so forth. And there was some stuff going on. It's like, really? The building's only 10 years old. Anybody ever die there? Anything? Nope. No records of it whatsoever. So we go in. We go in every single movie theater that was in there. And so I had two newbies with me. I took them, put them in a movie theater, took some other ones, put them, spread us all out. They come back to me after 5 minutes. John, there's nothing going on out here. what do you want to do? Like, well, you're only in there for about 5 minutes. Let's go somewhere else. So we go somewhere else. So we bring all the data and evidence, whatever you would like to call it, home. And I couldn't believe what I was hearing. They were full blown making fun of this young man. They were calling him all sorts of. Am I all right to swear a little bit on here? Is that all right?
Yeah, at a minimum.
All right. So they were making fun of him because he did not look heterosexual. So let's put it that way. And
Okay.
and they telling him, get bent, F off, get out of here, you piece of caca. And
Yep.
I'm trying to be nice here, but the building was only 10 years old and I couldn't find any history on it.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense?
A lot of times I have a hard time with history. I do have a lot of hard time with history sometimes when I go into a place. But yeah, I caught things that like, I'm going to kill you, you watch yourself turn around, all this stuff, like a lot of threatening stuff, a lot of swearing stuff. And I'm like, wow, like they're so rude.
Yes. I've had spirits tell me to shut the cameras off. And we were doing a spirit box, just shut the cameras off. I'm like, no, I'm not shutting the cameras off. And wouldn't you know, that camera got shut off.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep. They'll shut it right off for you.
One of the best EVPs I ever got was on my camcorder, actually. At Parker's Crossroads at the battlefield, I got 2 musket shots.
Nice.
And you know what a musket shot. If you ever shot one, you know exactly what it sounds like. Yeah, and I got 2 of them about 2 seconds apart, right across from the Union Cemetery or the Union Burial Ground.
Nice.
They excavated the bodies and moved them to a proper cemetery at some point, but the last body they found, and they did this in like 1889, and in 1994 they found another body and they had to move another body. But that I got those right there, and there's a picket fence that runs this way, right, and it's next to that burial ground. During the battle, that's where the Union soldiers hid behind the picket fence. So it made sense getting the musket shots right there because they would have been there shooting, out at the Confederates, And that was on my handy cam. So that was pretty cool. And that was one of the best ones I got. And the one that I got in Waverly Hills were on the 5th floor where I asked if the nurse that hung herself was there, and I got a EVP. It was really plain. It sounded like an old lady. It said, "Help me walk."
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah, and that was one of the plainest, one of the best ones I think I ever got. Now the disembodied voice of the little old lady saying, "I ain't staying," that was cool. But
isn't it awesome when you can hear them very clearly?
I'm sorry?
Isn't it awesome when you can hear them very clearly?
Oh yeah.
You know what's awesome? But you know what's awesome though is when you hear them legitimately mimic you.
Yeah.
I was in an old house and I went like that just for the hell of it. And that's what I heard. The same thing I did, it came back. I'm like, now wait a minute. So here goes my mind being a skeptic today. I do it again. It doesn't echo. I'm like, all right, no echo. So I keep doing it. And I don't hear anything. But man, I caught it. But oh my God, I couldn't believe it when I heard it. Everybody in the room just turned around and looked at each other. I'm like, all right, who did that? No, it wasn't me. Wasn't me.
But you heard it. You heard it with your ears.
Yes, disembodied.
And that's the first thing you think of is somebody's trying to mess with me. Which one of you is doing this? Who did it?
Yep.
That's when we heard the disembodied voice. My son-in-law said, "Did you do that?" And I said, "Do I sound like that?" Because it sounded like a little old lady. I said, "I actually sound like that, really?" And we had gotten one just before that. It was a male voice because I had said basically you can follow us up here, but you got to go back. And we got a male voice on the recorder that said, "I belong here."
Mm.
And then after that's when we got the disembodied voice from the little old lady saying, "I ain't staying."
You know, it makes you scratch your head when you get stuff like that, and you know it's legit because you tell them, look, you can't stay here, you got to go back. Well, I belong here.
Yeah.
So it's definitely intelligent. It knows what you're
Exactly.
saying. It can hear you.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy when you get those. And they're having I had one similar. I was in a cemetery, and I volunteer at the cemetery, and they let me come in there anytime I want. And I said, is there anybody here that wants to communicate with us now? I had 2 people listening live, and I had 1 voice recorder in my hand. So I had 3 voice recorders going. 2 were listening, and 1 was just to ask questions and playback. I did it, and then I could hear it, just me. I was like, wait a minute. I bring it home, and I'm listening to it. Sometimes you can hear it better on the computer than you could on the voice recorder.
Yep.
And it says, no, just me. I was like, holy cow. So I go back to the other 2 files on the other voice recorders, and it didn't pick it up at all. We synchronized
Wow.
it. And I went to the same exact times. It wasn't on the other 2 recorders, just on 1.
Why is it that
That's
your
crazy.
recorder will pick up some things and some things that just don't pick up?
I don't know.
When I was at Waverly, we was in the death tunnel, and I think I told you about that too.
Yep.
I could hear them footsteps coming up the tunnel from the bottom. I mean, just as plain as day. And my recorder was running the whole time, and it didn't pick up nothing.
I've had that happen when you've been recording stuff, and you're like, oh, man, I can't wait to go back and look at that. You go back and look at that, and all you hear is your own reaction, and you don't hear anything else.
Because I was telling this guy that was with me, and I said, I got to play this back. And I rewound it back, and there was nothing. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Because, I mean, you could hear it just playing like heel to toe.
Wow.
Coming up from the bottom of the death tunnel.
Wow.
And it didn't pick it up.
I'm just jealous you were in the death tunnel. I wish I could go.
Oh, trust me, that place is freaky. When you're in there, I ain't kidding you. You cannot see this far in front of your face. That's how black it is in there.
All right, so we got a question.
You couldn't see anything, but you could hear it.
All right, so we got a question. Paranormal Underworld actually brought this up. Why do they mimic? Do they think they forget who they are?
I think they're just messing with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be messing with you.
And they do have a sense of humor.
Maybe that's the only way they can communicate.
Well, that and the fact that they have a sense of humor, they will mess with you.
If you were a jerk in the life, you're a jerk in the afterlife.
Yeah, thank you. That's what I tell everybody. If you were an a-hole in life, you're going to be an a-hole when you're gone.
Exactly.
And if you hang around here, you're going to be the same. I say person because it actually is a person without a body. So you're
exactly because your personality comes from your soul.
Yeah,
it's your soul.
You're going to be the same person without a body that you were with a body.
Correct.
Exactly.
And and I remember saying this. I made a post one day. I said, "Be the kind of person that you would want your spirit to be."
True.
If you're a good person, your spirit's going to be a decent person or a decent, yeah. If you're
you are who you are.
If you're an asshole, you're going to be one when you go over there too. Plain and simple.
Mm-hmm. So here's another question. Paranormal Underworld. Can you catch EVPs on video and not on the recorder, or vice versa? I can honestly say I've had that happen.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
And I can't say 100% sure on this, but it's just like, I've always said, spirits don't play on cue. You can go to a place that's notorious to be haunted and not get anything one day and go back the next day and all kind of stuff happen.
Yeah.
I think they can choose. if they want to show up on a device, which one it's going to be and which one it's not
Yes.
going to be.
Yes. I think it might have something to do with frequencies at that point, frequencies of light, frequencies of sound, frequencies of electricity. Who the heck knows, really? But it probably has something to do with frequencies. I'd be willing to bet.
Is your audio on your video recorder the same as it is on a handheld recorder, or is it like a different channel, or
I
have something to do with that?
I think the different frequencies. I think you're right with the frequencies.
Yeah, it has something to do with that. You know,
because one might be operating at 60 hertz and the other one's operating at 30.
Yeah.
And so, well, I mean, they're not just going to go and, all right, I'm going to dial this into 30 hertz and then talk. I mean, I would assume that it probably has to do something with the frequencies of which they're talking as far as audio goes, because I'm not too big into the frequencies of audio and all that, but I know very, very little about it. And that could be something to do with it too.
you can get into a lot of that, and I wanted to try infrasound.
You know, everybody's trying that, and I'm kind of curious about myself.
Yeah, I love, but the problem is it's such a low frequency you can't hear it. It's beyond the human ear. That's why they say that a lot of your EVPs will be in that frequency range.
Did
well,
you
animals
know?
Can hear it.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Did you know?
Well, no, I'm serious because my dog barks at my wall constantly.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so she's obviously seeing something, hearing something that I can't see or hear. And she just sits there and she barks at my wall.
Infrasound can affect you the same way electromagnetic fields do. They can make you sick, you know.
Yeah.
See and hear things that, you know. So I mean, I've been just starting to research it just a little bit, and found out that this one place was having. It might sound like a show because it probably was. This one place was having paranormal activity, and they took a listening device and found out that the power plant about a half mile away was creating infrasound. And it was affecting everybody that worked in the place, just like electromagnetic. So that's another thing. A lot of the teams aren't really thinking about. I mean, I'm sure it's pretty new to us, but
they did that in a laboratory setting where people were seeing shadows and all this kind of stuff was going on, and they had like one of those big fans built into the wall. You know what I'm talking about, with the big blades. And they found out that somebody figured it out somehow that one of those blades was off kilter just a little bit,
creating sound.
Causing the infrasound that was making everybody hallucinate. And they fixed the fan and no more activity in the place.
Wow.
You know, so I mean, yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I got a buddy, Frank, was telling me about that, but he also told me about a residential they did where it had something to do with the fish tank, the deal that circulates the water in the fish tank. They were having, you know, what they thought was paranormal activity, and it was something to do with this thing in the fish tank, and they shut that thing off, and it was like, you know, no more stuff was going on. So, I mean, it just goes to show you get in that range, a lot of things can cause. It kind of reminds me of how when you talk about EMF, you know, if you get a certain amount of EMF, it can make you hallucinate, you know, it can make you break out and all kinds of stuff like that. It sort of works on that same line. But I mean, if you think about this, like if you have a fan, a big fan, and you know what I'm talking about, those things are like what, 3 foot wide, or great big fan. If it's sending out vibrations through a room and everything, right? It's gonna affect you. And you just ain't gonna know where it's coming from. You ain't gonna realize that it's this fan doing this. You're gonna start coming up with all kinds of stuff. Well, it's haunted. That's what it is. There's spirits in there. They're messing with me. If a fish tank can do that, and a fan can do that, and what you're talking about not even in the same place. It was down the road.
Right.
That had to have been a powerful.
It was a power plant.
But whatever was sending it out had to have been pretty strong. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Right.
Could you imagine working in that place?
No.
My God. My hair, I'd go around with my hair standing up like this all the time.
Mine would too. But you know what I see a lot of on TV, and I know it's for TV. I see a lot of people starting to do a lot of crazy things, like taking voice recorders and submerging them in water. And I don't know. I mean, is this some new stuff that actually works, or is it just BS? Is it made for TV? I've never tried recording in water.
Speaking of water,
Go ahead.
Yes. Go ahead.
They've done some paranormal investigations underwater, like at shipwrecks and stuff like that. Now, that's something that would be really interesting to try one time.
Yes.
Water is what do you call it?
It's a conductor.
It intensifies everything.
Yeah.
So when I have evidence coming back to me, but when you I did EVPs where I stuck my finger in water and then asked questions.
Really?
It's supposed to give you back more clearer responses.
Huh.
It's an intensifier. It's a what do you call it? The words at the tip of my tongue, but
water is a conductor.
It's an amplifier. Thanks, Pat. Amplifier.
So,
yes.
So I'm getting the evidence back soon, but
that's why you
stick your hand in water.
If you have a haunted location that's close to a river or something like that, you get more activity. Also with the granite and the limestone and all that. If you put all those together and everything, usually your activity is spiked a whole lot more than normal.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Now, are you going to do a EVP session on a haunted piece of land and stick your foot in the river and go, yeah, what do you got? Who we got here?
I know, right? No, I'm telling you, it's an amplifier.
And takes your toe off, Anyway, we're out of time. Yeah, no. Just when all the fun was getting started. If you want to give everybody your page links for Haunted Salem and all that.
Yeah, how can we get a hold of you?
Yeah. Well, you can go to it's Facebook and just look under Haunted Salem. You'll find the Haunted Salem face page. You'll find the Haunted Salem group, the official Haunted Salem group, and you'll find the Haunted 31 Days of Halloween. It comes right up. Once you even type in Haunted Salem, you'll be able to find it all. I'm on YouTube. I'm on a lot of things. If you go to my page, my group, I have a list that's pinned up that has all my. You just click on them and find me anywhere.
Awesome.
So
we have a good time. Christina is she's my partner in crime. Like I said, we always have a good time.
Absolutely, yes, we do.
But it's always better when you're on the opposite side of the mic. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean, Roger.
When you get a chance to not be the one having to ask all the questions, you just get to tell your side of things. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much, though, for having me on.
Oh, it was amazing. I loved it. And
thank you.
I always said when my ship comes in, it'll be a little rowboat with a hole in it. But if my ship ever comes in, I'm coming up there. Trust me.
Yeah, we're all gonna have to get together.
If I get a car, I'm coming up there.
There's so many places up there I want to check out. Really.
Yeah,
I'll show you around.
We're all gonna have to get together someday and rub some elbows. So.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But anyway, thanks for coming on, John. Thanks for the awesome bit of help there, buddy.
No problem. Anytime.
Thank you, John.
Hey, no problem. Thank
Everybody
you.
in the chat, we appreciate you guys and girls, and everybody listening in that's not chatting. We appreciate everybody. Can't do a show without you. As I said earlier, Christina and I will be on Wednesday night, and we have Deborah Rousseau.
There we go.
Ghost Seekers Paragon will be with us.
Nice.
So tune in
Awesome.
for that. We'll see everybody then. Good night, everybody.
Bye. Good night.
Good night.